Yeah, cruising in the ocean with my fellas, waving at the shore, we got all them people jealous. They see that we shining from way over yonder. Gotta thank my father, my sponsor, for putting me on board and also giving me the capability to live life with no fear, create buzz with no beer. God is the reason why I live like this. Now everybody hating me, now I feel like Chris. Working out, eating right, now I look like this. Phone filled with different numbers, now my ex all pissed. Now I'm playing, she don't care cause she move like this. Man, I ain't hating cause she bad, man, we all ruthless. Man, I got money in my pocket, diamonds on my pinky and that brain.
Yeah, man, before we talk about the John Cena and CM Punk, Josiah, you said something about a promo. What was it?
Yeah, so we know last Friday night SmackDown, not this last Friday night, the previous SmackDown, John Cena had created his own rendition of CM Punk's pipe bomb, which is fire, right? And CM Punk took a page out of John Cena's play and went full on Dr. fucking on John Cena. I never thought today I would ever see CM Punk cut a promo where he's rapping. I never thought I would ever see it. And it was hilarious. It was funny. My man said Punkonomics. I was cracking up. Punk's life was full on a string. See, the problem was with the whole entire thing, though. I'm gonna keep it real, and a lot of people are saying this too. That promo that CM Punk was doing with John Cena, where he was like pretty much like impersonating John Cena's that's the number gimmick. It was like that whole entire thing. The crowd ate up it and they loved it, but it would have the whole rap itself would have worked better if he was on stage. I'm gonna keep that real with you.
If he was what?
A lot of people were saying that CM Punk's promo with John Cena on SmackDown when he was cutting that rap on Cena would have hit better in the States than in Saudi Arabia. Because Saudi Arabia, like things that Punk was saying, went completely over their heads a lot of times. They reacted accordingly, but some of them just didn't know what Punk was really trying to get at for real.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
The fans always want something happening in the States. It would have happened in the States and still wouldn't even got the, like, that's what I'm saying, like, if he would have did it in the States, it wouldn't have got the reaction like he got in Saudi Arabia, even though they didn't even understand what he was saying. That's the reason why it's better to do them out of the country. Because they don't care. As long as they're there with their fans. The States, they watch you. They don't even, States is whack, bro.
Sure, I get it.
And OTC coming back SummerSlam.
I see both sides, by the way.
He got you.
To your point, BJ, I see both sides. I
don't see no side for the States because at the end of the day, the States are the only ones that are wishy-washy. The States are the ones that said we want Cody Rhodes to win the championship, and then 2 weeks later we chanting OTC. Guaranteed they wouldn't have been doing that overseas. Guaranteed the level would have been the level would have been the same regardless. They would have been rooting for OTC. They'd have been rooting for Cody. They'd have been rooting for all of it because they love wrestling. Over here in the States, they always want to be picky about stuff.
Yeah, that's that's a great point. That's a great point.
To be picky, bro. Like, oh, we want this. You got it, and then all of a sudden, all right, now we don't want it no more. We want somebody else to have it. Like, man, the States, they don't even care. They just love the product.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that's WWE be tapping in with them more than anything. But yeah, that Punk life or that Punkonomics. Now I want to say, what's better, John Cena's pipe bomb or the Punkonomics?
Whoa!
I was a big fan of that Punk life. I was huge. That
was funny. That was hilarious. I love Punk. I think
he did.
Oh my gosh.
He did that.
Better?
Yeah, which one was better?
I think there were two. I think I can't really remember, but I had it in my brain when I watched it. I probably watched both promos back to really see, and actually try to answer. But I didn't know there were two things that they did that they had did differently to where I can go, okay, Punk was better in this regard, he was better in that regard. But to be honest with you, I don't know. I thought both of them were dope for what they were. Like they both were dope. You know what I'm saying? Cena killed it. He did his own pipe bomb rendition, and his promo was fire. He said some hard truths. That was dope. And then, but Punk channeling what he did for Cena, and Cena did a great job really selling what Punk was doing too. Like he did a great job of making sure that he sold everything with his facials. How Punk was coming at him. He was looking at the crowd. When Punk said you can't wrestle, he was looking like Cena did a thing where he shaking his head like no, don't say that, don't say that. And it's just like now he's getting very insecure. I thought it was fire. So, but yeah, man. I don't know that line about Kenny and Drake was fire though.
That was the icing on the cake.
That was it. Mic drop.
Yeah, that was fire. That Kenny and Drake line was crazy.
That was fire, bro. But Punk was hilarious, man. Punk did that thing where he came out from his entrance and he was looking all kind of real like he was like trying to help his jaw. And then he placed like the brass knuckle that Cena had, and it said drug free. I was cracking up. I was like, bro, Punk is he's a dope guy. Like he got to be one of those, man. That man's funny. And then. Yeah, he did. He channeled that whole entire persona very well. It was like very good.
I think John Cena had a big part of that.
Yeah, you can tell it was very rehearsed. Doing that out of Punk's realm.
For Punk to memorize all of that, bro, that was classic.
It was.
No stumbles, no nothing. I was like, bro, yeah, this is classic. This is classic.
Yep.
Different.
Oh, another thing, if you didn't notice during the promo too, Punk had a line, and I think he finished off with the word class, and then he went to Cena and he told Cena right to his face, he said, "I'm going to miss you."
And
the promo, he told me they going to miss you. You can tell that they good for you.
In the promo?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not in the promo, but off the microphone. He told Cena to his face. He stopped himself for a moment and told him he was going to miss him. And then went back.
I mean, after John Cena's gone,
yeah,
the only two left from that era that's still wrestling is Randy and Ray.
Yeah,
once they gone,
Rey Mysterio.
Everybody. That whole class gone.
Randy Ray, CM Punk. Who else?
CM Punk ain't with that class.
How come he not?
CM Punk came in the early 2000s.
Right, he was in mid 2000s. He was already with WWE for real. He just didn't come in from the main roster. They put him on EW first. I'm talking about the DX days and stuff like that. No, the DX they started as an attitude era, but they started more of that into the 2004. You're talking more. You're talking more about the 02, 03, 04 era. Like that was where Punk and Ray was moving up, and you're saying in that class as far as overall regard.
I mean, if they was coming up, then they ain't a part of that era. They ain't a part of that era. If they wasn't that name, well, no, they wasn't.
I don't put CM Punk a part of that era because Rey Mysterio been in the business. He was with WCW before. He came over here.
Oh no.
And Randy was still in the era.
We're talking in terms of people who were around John Cena's career overall. CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Ray Mysterio are on that list. And then you got. I
don't think CM Punk is on that list like that.
No, what I'm saying throughout John Cena's whole career, like throughout his totality, like he had matches with Ray. He had a few with Randy. He had a few with CM Punk. So I'm saying they were integral to his part of his career. I'm not saying they came around the same time.
No, I'm not.
WWE. I'm just talking about that regard.
But if they didn't come around,
I'm
they're
not talking
the same way.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about class.
Like weight class as to how much they weigh?
No, class like when they came in.
CM Punk didn't come in with that.
I'm so confused right now. Go ahead, bro. I'm trying to figure out where you trying to get at.
John Cena came in 1989. Then CM Punk came in 1993. What we're talking about is that class, the draft class. Who came in with John Cena? CM Punk didn't come in with John Cena.
Brand Steel didn't do it either.
I'm still already been there, though.
He was already there, though.
No, he was with WCW, and he didn't come to WWE until I want to say
he was still. Oh, I'm talking about guys that wrestled around that period that had anything to do with the company. Rey Mysterio was a part of the war going on between the two companies, so he's automatically involved in that. Like how I would involve Kevin Nash and all that. All the guys from that era are gonna be gone. Once Randy and Ray retired.
It's John Cena, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Randy Orton, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. CM Punk came later. Like I'll put CM Punk in the same class as R-Truth.
R-Truth? Oh yeah, R-Truth been there for 17 years though. 17 years though.
No.
Yeah.
I want to say R-Truth like that because you.
Punk been there for 17 years. R-Truth been there for 17 years.
But honestly, technically, well, you can't quite count K Quick, but he was there during the Attitude Era too with Bulldog, if you remember. He was K Quick. But I guess I don't really count. But yeah. So yeah, like I said, I enjoy both promos. I love the pipe bombs, love the pumpkinomics, promo, whatever that was, fire. Now in terms of the match, let me ask you a question, BD, right quick. What match did you like more, Cody versus Randy, or Cena versus Punk?
Cena versus Punk.
I'm in agreement. I like the near fall. I like, John Cena season.
That's not why. That's not why. I don't care about
okay, go ahead. Yeah,
I care about when Seth Rollins and them came in. That was it. The match, fighting one-on-one, it was Randy versus Cody, clear. It wasn't even close.
Okay. Fair enough.
But the interruptions and
Randy Orton
like that.
I didn't like that match because Randy Orton basically gave him the match.
He did after he messed up his back or faked that it was his back. Right when I seen his back was out, I was like, dang, they already told who gonna win. They already told it. But then when I seen the John Cena joint and all the pinfalls and all that, I was like, they're not gonna let CM Punk win this joint. But how are they gonna put it together?
And Cody Rhodes not gonna win either.
Yeah, and then when they put it together with he ain't winning either.
So
I said it.
They basically wasted another.
Oh, indeed.
Another pay-per-view.
You are completely correct, sir.
Because Cody Rhodes is not going to win at SummerSlam.
At all. And he's not going to get another title shot after SummerSlam either. That's why I'm glad to get this over with. Get him out of the way.
So, what was the point of giving him the title shot? It doesn't make sense anymore. Again, it would have been better to get that to Jay or Randy.
I just told you why.
Why? If John Cena is not going to drop that title until
the end of the year.
If John Cena is not dropping that title until when, DZ?
To the end of the year. If he drops it,
end of the year.
They might not even let him drop it. He might not even drop it. They might find a way for him to keep it. But he's not dropping it to the end of the year. And that's why I was upset that he was going against CM Punk so early. Because I was like, yo, that's crazy. You about to put a good match like that together when you already know you're not going to let Cena lose this early? Like, nah.
Mm.
Especially not on no Night of Champions. I could see if they'll let him lose at SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, but not at no Night of Champions. Ain't no way. That's why I was like, yeah, that's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got Cody Rhodes
Mm-hmm.
at SummerSlam? Nah. But the thing is, they not letting
Oh, you
him
know
win
what?
straight up though. Like John Cena ain't been winning nothing straight up though.
No.
So that's how he gonna make it all the way to the end of the year, which is cool. Which is cool with me. I don't care. But
But they're telling a story with that as well too. Like these, like to your point, like the overall story is this: John Cena hasn't won a straight up match in the last 4 years. His body is breaking down. He ain't the same team that he once was. But he can somewhat still go, but he now resorts to doing a lot of cheating just to get by and win his matches. That's why every match that you see Cena in so far, everything counts for him having to cheat in order
right.
to get the overall victory. That's why they're telling that
Okay,
overall story.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I need this answer.
Go ahead.
So we already know most likely Seth Rollins is gonna cash in on Gunther or
Right.
Goldberg.
Okay. Yeah.
So what they gonna do? Have Seth Rollins versus Gunther at SummerSlam?
Right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to see that.
Let me see.
No, don't do
Uh-uh.
that. Don't do that, Larry. You was last time I checked, you was a fan of
Oh
Goldberg.
yeah,
No, I
our
ain't trying
church,
to hear that.
everybody, all the men got the same shirt. Yeah.
I'm not talking about Goldberg.
Oh, you was a fan of Goldberg?
There you
Bro,
go.
Stay on the Goldberg train. Stay on the Goldberg train.
That's good.
easy,
Thank you.
Jackhammer,
You
Spears.
too.
Stay on that train,
No, it's
bro.
no problem.
bro. Did you not literally did you hear me say? So they're gonna do Gunther versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Don't
He
nobody
said
want
it.
to see that. Josiah immediately jumped in and talking about I thought you was a fan of Goldberg. Don't hate on Goldberg now.
Yeah, that's what you said, bro.
When did I put
You
Goldberg in
just
that?
said Goldberg versus. Wait a minute. You said Goldberg
I
versus
said
Gunther.
I
You never
said
said Gunther versus Seth
Gunther.
Rollins.
He said Gunther.
I said Gunther.
Why would Gunther versus, bro? No, we're not trying. No, nobody wants to see. No, that doesn't make any sense. No,
And Seth
that does
Rollins
not make any sense,
cashes in on Goldberg and takes the
bro.
title.
You just said that Saturday Night's main
They're gonna
event,
do.
the WWE is on probably plan for Seth Rollins to cash in that briefcase onto either Goldberg or Gunther. He's winning that world
Yes.
title. I said
Yes.
to you, okay, then you have Goldberg and Gunther come to happen at SummerSlam. Nobody is trying to see Gunther versus Seth Rollins for that world title. Not because they want to be a GOAT match, but because of the overall character.
We're not.
Yes, I'm
But we're not.
very well aware.
We're not.
But maybe I get your stamp overall there. But I'm just saying,
Hold on.
the WWE.
No, we're not going.
Now,
We're not going to get another. We're not going to get another match between Goldberg and Gunther though. Goldberg said that day is his last match. Period. Whether he wins or loses, that's his last match.
But they already teasing that he might be staying even longer though. When Michael answering the question of what if he won the world title, he said he's the limit that was. Like the
But he said,
you say that, but then at the same time, that don't mean that's what it means. It's really like going to say, oh my god, like that. They say that right now, but at the same time, they can still do that match. Even though I don't really want to see it like that. At the end, the WWE's going to do whatever they want to do. Right? Period.
It make more sense.
Why I told you
It make more sense.
why they're going with Cody. And why they're Cody the top.
It make more sense for
It
makes for Seth. It make more sense.
are they going to do this?
It make more
Are they
sense.
going to do this?
Seth
They're
Rollins.
going to bring Roman. They're going to bring Roman back super early. No, super late. Like within the week of SummerSlam, have him attack Seth Rollins. Boom. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the title.
I'm with that.
No.
It make more sense for Seth Rollins to go against Gunther.
All they're gonna do is a repeat of WrestleMania, where they brought back Roman super late within the following they brought Roman Reigns like 2 weeks before Mania.
Seth Rollins, Seth like, I don't know.
They're just gonna rush it again. We're gonna have another
WWE was smart. If WWE was smart, they would let Seth Rollins go against Gunther. Because all the other stuff is already noticeable. And they got to find a way to stop making stuff noticeable. That's something nobody sees. Seth Rollins versus Gunther.
Or if they're doing Seth Rollins versus CM Punk again.
I mean, yeah, that's going to happen. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk is going to happen on the big stage. I don't know when, but it's going to happen because they keep butting into.
I'm seeing they're setting that for Mania, bro. And here's what was interesting about Seth Rollins costing CM Punk the match against John Cena. You know, last year Punk was costing Seth Rollins his matches. You know what I'm saying? Just he was costing Drew McIntyre his matches. Remember that? And
that's what I'm
Punk
saying.
Was doing that. Now it's kind of like being done towards Punk, huh?
Punk is going to make sure that Seth Rollins cash in don't work.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Don't
that
do
part, because of what Seth is doing towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that. Which I'm like, that's interesting. I kind of like some of that writing because it's a callback to what Punk was doing from last year. Now it's like he's getting basically like the receiving end of all things he done did before Seth. So it's like I like that writing. But again, like I don't know. I mean, I would be a fan of the match. I don't know if they're going to go with Seth versus Gunther though. I don't know about that. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying like I don't know if they're going to book that.
They don't got nothing that makes more sense right now. Because now you got Gunther and Goldberg. There's no way you can let Goldberg win. So if Goldberg wins, that's it. And you were talking about continuation, but at the same time, I think when Goldberg made that comment, I think when he said, well, that's up to whatever, or I forgot what his comment was. But after he said that, I think that's because it's not rolled out for him to win. So if he does win, that wasn't in the plans. I think that's why he said it. Because it was never in the plans for him to win in the first place. So if he wins and Seth Rollins cashes in on Goldberg, then you got Goldberg going against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Don't nobody want to see that either. So what do you want to really see?
What Larry had been saying, like you go with. I know you're going to probably say like this is. I'm sorry, that's how you being full of it. But I was going to say, what if you somewhat tie Jay back into the story again? There's always ways.
How did you do that?
Yeah, how you do that and why?
I'm saying, okay, for instance, right, Monday Night Raw can have a show where they don't gotta necessarily do a tournament, just have like a fail 4-way, fail 5-way, right? And Jey Uso is said to be an NFL 5-way, and whoever wins out that fail 5-way gets the opportunity to face Seth Rollins for that world title. Sorry, yeah, because Seth Rollins will probably win the world title by the time we're over the Saturday Night's main event. And from what I'm figuring on my prediction is Gunther and Goldberg's match is going to be interrupted, so it probably may not even be a clear winner. Hey, Goldberg probably won't win. Gunther probably won't win, but Goldberg still wants to get after Gunther for what Gunther did towards his child. It's like here's what was interesting about Goldberg's like interview with Michael Cole. Not one time did he mention about wanting to win that world belt, that world title. Like all I said, he mentioned about wanting to re-get Gunther for what he had said about his kids. So like you're already teasing the feud and the seeds for that to go right here and continue. So I'm saying to myself, like, okay, if you're doing it that way and there's no mention of the world title, it's more about getting revenge over Gunther, then why not put that into SummerSlam? You get Goldberg versus Gunther, which by the way, this is gonna make a SummerSlam a big card on top of that. We think about it. Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso, Goldberg versus Gunther. If Roman's able to be available, he'll probably have a match. If he don't have a match, whatever. But I'm just saying, that's how you can get back into tie into Roman Reigns into the story, and he can get involved in
so why? So Goldberg too. Hold on.
I feel that you ought to go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you ought to go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you ought to go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you oughta. I feel that you oughta go. Treating me like I'm the man. I feel like you oughta go. The things that you do with your hands, I feel like you oughta go. The way that you twerk when you dance, I feel that you oughta go. Baby, you show it. That's for real. To me. And I can't keep it low-key. See, everything you do to me is crazy. Two to the dome, you know I came to kill. And all the DJs and beat makers know the drill. Your boy back, they all run like sawmill. This beat was just sent to me, this was a fresh kill. What you ain't know